If there's one thing life's been teaching me, it's that I don't have as much time to work on my projects now as I used to. Speaking of, wouldn't it be nice if there was an easier way to access your fuel pump in your Mustang? Like, maybe something like this. So in my car, I decided that dropping my fuel tank is not something I enjoy doing. Yeah, it doesn't take too long. There's 2 bolts, plus your filler neck, not that big of a deal. But I was making a custom fuel hat for my car, and the last thing I wanted to do was be underneath the car, fuel tank up and down all the time. It just wasn't what I wanted to do. So I decided I'd spend my time otherwise. This is what I came up with. So this is just an access panel right here, and right underneath this is my fuel pump. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I did this the last time I took my fuel tank out. It's a good idea to have your tank out when you cut this. And right next to the frame rail, there's just a little spot you can cut out. Makes a perfect access hole. I've only got mine held in by a few self-tapping screws. Then I've got a little bit of foam tape around the edges, just to seal some of the dirt and nasty stuff out. That way I don't get my carpet all gross. Or get rubber in there when I'm doing burnouts. This kind of came about because I decided that with the stock fuel tank and a Foxbody, they don't really make a custom fuel hat that you can put in for more than one pump. Like my car, I've got 2 in-tank pumps, and this is a stock 86 Mustang fuel tank. There are the goodies. So this is a custom fuel hat that I bolted in to my tank. All the details that'll come in a later video. That won't take too long to explain. But what I did, as far as my access hole, you can see your frame rail. It's going to be right over here. And then the side of your wheel, or your, I guess it'd be your spare tire well, is going to be right here. So if you cut right outside of the weld where your frame rail meets the unibody, right along here, right up here where the other box is, and then down here, there's literally a square right in here where you can cut that out, put an access panel in, make it 10 times easier to get to your fuel pump. Now anytime you need to change your pump, troubleshoot your pump, see if it's running, or if you want to do a custom job like I did, it's so much easier to access it. I don't even know why I did it the way I did for so many years and all the other Mustangs I had without an access hole, but this is definitely the way to go. I think it maybe took me 20 minutes to cut the hole. You know, I wanted to get it right, and I had to size it a little bit bigger so I could get my fuel head in there after I was all done. But man, it makes it a lot easier. If I've got to take a pump out, or if I have a problem with one, it's just so much easier to troubleshoot it or remove it. And I tell you what, it's probably one of the easiest mods you'll do to your car too. This little plate of aluminum here, picked it up from one of the hardware stores, maybe 20 bucks. Pretty good deal for how much easier it makes this job. You know, there'll be plenty of people that argue, oh, it's so easy to drop the tank in a Mustang and blah, 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 blah. Yeah, you know what, it is. It is easy to drop the tank. But when time is a premium, the last thing I want to do is roll around on my backside when all I have to do is open my hatch, pull out 4 screws, and voila, there it is. So hopefully that was a little bit helpful. I'll have another video coming that explains a little bit more in detail about this fuel hat that I made. But keep in mind, this is a stock Foxbody tank. Completely stock. I've done nothing to the internals of the tank. The baffles are the same, but I have 2 340 LPH in-tank pumps in a stock Foxbody tank. And I think the aluminum altogether with this and the other pieces that I made maybe cost me 30 bucks. So I already had 2 pumps. I just had to attach them to my fuel hat, and then I had to get a couple of bulkhead connectors. I might have 60 bucks into it altogether. I think the cheapest custom fuel hat that I saw for any Mustang, I know On3 makes one, there's a couple of other companies that make some, but they're a few $100. If you want to make something yourself, have a little pride in it, make it how you want to. This one's a big square. I could have made it a lot smaller. I guess hindsight, if I did it again, I'd make it just a circle. That way all I've got to do is cut a hole where the original hole is for the rail that the pump sits on. I just cut a hole big enough for the two pumps to fit into. Then it'd be a lot easier. I wouldn't have to cut such a big access hole here. But it is what it is. On my next one, I'll do a little better job. But I've also been toying with the idea of offering pre-made fuel hats for sale. I'm not sure if anybody would be interested in something like that. It'd be a heck of a lot cheaper than anything you can find out there. But anyways, hopefully you like that. If you found that useful, let me know. Otherwise, tell me that too. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.